I'm saying this is the 21st century, and we have a lot of things to learn ourselves. And most of the time we find we are struggling. We don't know even what to do. We think maybe we are supposed to be born somewhere in America or in Asia. But I can assure you, by the time I finish talking to you this webinar, you will be able to understand exactly what you can do in order to change your life. And the issue is the thinking. You need to change it differently the way you think. Rich people and poor people think differently. And all of you know the kind of people you are surrounded. We find ourselves complaining. We complain about our parents. We complain about our girlfriend, our husbands, our whoever around, maybe the president, whatever. But the issue is the rich people think differently. Whenever you see problems for them, they see opportunity. So it's better for us to understand that in order for our life to change, we better change first ourselves. Otherwise, you know what? The time will come and then you'll be gone. And then somewhere probably you're able to meet God and he will ask you, what did you do in the world? I gave you all the years. Think about that. So I want you to open up yourself and try to understand exactly what you can do. It doesn't matter where you are from, it doesn't matter where you are, whether you have money, whether you don't have a degree, nothing whatsoever. The issue is, are you willing to learn some new things? Are you willing to take action? Okay? Are you willing to go extra mile from other people? You know, you find that you are doing something altogether and the other people can't take it anymore. But if you can just persist, you will see light at the end of the tunnel. So I'm encouraging you, no matter what's the situation, okay? Just be ready to learn new stuff. Be ready to be challenged. Because by the time I finish this session, you'll be thinking differently and you won't be the same person, the one you are listening to me now. So what you need to understand, all the ways you want to open the new doors. As I said from the beginning, we are in the 21st century. As I speak to you now, there are some people who have lost their jobs. Think about that. If you're a cashier, maybe in Africa, but in Western countries, in America, most of the shops, they don't have cashiers, okay? Think of that this Amazon, they have a shop called Amazon Go, okay? What they do, you just get in, you buy whatever you're buying, and then your phone will do everything. You don't find a cashier. So if you're a cashier somewhere in this country, maybe you're in school studying accounting and all kind of bookkeeping, it's just a matter of time. You will find your job be taken by technology or by robots. If you're a telephone operator, or you are what, a customer care, you know what? There are so many things that are changing. If you're a customer care or you are a telephone operator, your days are numbered. If you haven't lost your job, it's just a matter of time, your job will be gone soon. And so this is the kind of, just a picture to show you what is happening in the world. And sometimes most of us are not aware that this world is changing very, very fast. Unfortunately, even our teachers, our lecturers, our parents, even our politicians, they don't even know what is happening in the world. So after all, this is your life. This is your life. You won't blame anybody. The day you die, God won't ask you, where is your president? Where is your mom? Where is your husband? He will just ask you, of all the years I gave you, what did you do with that? Remember the day you were born. Before even you were born, you know what? God gave your dad something. He gave out like 400 million sperms, and out of the 400 is you and me who came out. Think about that. So it means we lost our brothers and sisters so that you can live. But what are you doing with your life now? Think of Jesus. If you are you a Christian, Jesus died at age 33, but he finished what he came to do on the earth at age 33. Let me ask you, how old are you? How many years do you still have to hit 33? And what have you achieved so far? If you die right now, how are you going to be remembered? How do you want us to remember you? What have you done so far? You have spent like half of your life in school, and how is it going? How that has taken you? If you're employed, you've been working for how many years? Think about that. If your employment stops now, what are you going to do? If you have family, who is going to take care of your family? Think about that. So I want you to think differently. I want you to think differently because you know what? Everybody can think. All of us. You know, in a day, you get like 60,000 ideas in your head. But what do you do with that? And you find in Africa, in Tanzania in particular, people complain a lot. But I can assure you, we are surrounded all the stuff within our disposal. If you can just look left or right, or on the back or front, you can see something that you can really take advantage of. I'm sure as where you are now, you are using smartphone. Are you earning any money from your phone? You are on Facebook, you're on Instagram. How many people are you connected with? Are you earning any money from those people? Think of the day you started going to school up to this moment. How many people you have come across? And where are they? Can't you start earning money from them? So I'm saying we are surrounded with everything at our disposal, but we don't see. But at the end of the day, we go to church and then we ask God to help us. Is that really true? That we can't change our lives? So I want you to ask yourself, all the people you have come across, how many of them have added something in your life? Something that you are willing to die for? It doesn't matter how many followers you have. Do you understand? It doesn't matter. Hitler had more followers. He had 2 million plus. And Jesus had only 12 disciples. And how many Hitler followers he has at this moment? And how many followers Jesus has? So you need to understand that we don't need to connect with everybody. You just need to find quality people. So as I finish this webinar, I'm sure you'll be starting to release some people in your phone because they're not helping you anything. They're just adding toxins in your head. So sometimes you may decide to blow up or to punch yourself in your head that where have I been? All this stuff, have people with me on Facebook, Instagram, on all those social media, and then I'm earning nothing out of them. So don't take life seriously. But sometimes those small things we don't even see. That, you know what, it's like a journey over 1,000 miles. It starts with one single step. So you can start learning something. You can find people who can add value on you. You know what? If you have 5 friends, I can assure you, you are the average of those people you're surrounded with. And as we speak, we have people who are looking for jobs. We have people who are in college, they are about to graduate, and then they think by the time they get out of college, they'll be able to find a job. Even some of you who are employed, how much money are they paying you? Think about that. And all the years you spend in school, and they are paying you maybe 1 million Tanzanian shillings. You know 1 million, how much is that? It's almost $450. You spend 20 years, how many shillings or whatever your parents has spent on you? And now you are earning only $400,000 plus or 1,000 or 2 million shillings. If you factor in your living expense, what do you get out of it? So sometimes we don't really understand that we are wasting our time, and our time is very valuable than anything else. So what we do in Africa, we spend most of the time praying, God help us, God help us. And if you find a way to sneak out, you just run away. You think maybe if you can just go in Europe or in America, your life can change. Think of our brothers and sisters who are running away and are being drawn in deep sea. Those guys from Somalia, northern countries, Nigeria, people are dying in deep sea trying to cross over to Spain. And you know what? Africa, everybody, especially the white people, they want to come to Africa. So what is happening? If there are some people are enjoying everything, and all of us, we spend 9 days in our mother's womb. We came out naked, ugly. It's the same thing with the white people, the same thing with the Japanese. But what are we doing in Africa? Is it really a dark continent that we can't do something out of it? You know what? All of us are very blessed, but unfortunately, we don't see what we have. We don't value what is inside of us. But what God did, He put something in us. Unfortunately, we don't see. So what I can say, all of us want good life, but very few of us are willing to go extra mile and to get what we want. But I'm sure by the time I finish this webinar, as I said from the beginning, you'll be able to get something out of it. But I want to warn you, it's not gonna be easy. It's not going to be easy because you have to change. You have to change. And remember, if you do what is easier, your life will be hard. And if you do what is hard, your life will be easy. You know what? There is no shortcut in life. There is no shortcut. Always, you have to go through the process. Even God didn't order us to go through our destination. He said we go through the process. You know what? There is everything you can get in life, provided you are willing to invest in your time, to sweat and do all those kind of stuff. But unfortunately, we are not ready for that. We are looking for easy way to make money. I want to warn you, especially for some of you who were born between 1984 to 1995. You know what, how they call you guys? Your entitlement generation. Lazy, you know, you want some stuff to just come on your table. You are sitting on a sofa set watching football. You want to eat that stuff right there. You want everything to come on your table. You know what? Life does not work that way. So there is no shortcut. There's no shortcuts. You have to go through the process. But sometimes we don't want to stress out. We want cheap stuff, easy money. You know what? No, there is no success. There is no gain without pain. You have to go through the process. And you know what? Shortcut sometimes, you know, you have people who went to school. And what they do? Because maybe they still using what? They still using their pen. There is pen robbery. There is also armed robbery. But it's the same. You guys, you know what? Our parents, even our government has spent so much on us. But why do we decide to go for shortcuts? Ladies, instead of looking ways to make your life, sometimes you find just somebody to marry you. Do you think marrying to somebody who is rich, you solve your problems? And what happens if that person dies? What happens if you divorce or just to kick you away? What's going to happen? But each one of us has something in us. So you better find it. There is no shortcut, my friend. So what you do, you pay the price. You know what? You pay the price along the way, whether you like it or not. Remember, I'm taking you back again in the Bible. I don't know in a Quran whether this is written there, whatever. Maybe when I finish, you guys who are knowledgeable with the Quran will be able to help me. You know what? God didn't apply shortcuts when he was creating the world. He went through the process day 1 to day 6. And then what happened? He didn't rush. He didn't rush, but unfortunately for us, we don't want that. We're always after shortcuts. You know what? We have people who are very successful here in Tanzania and other parts of the world, but we think maybe they just woke up and find themselves successful. Hey, never. Have never found a successful person who just got it just by deceiving others or by stealing or by playing. You go to the casino and you think maybe by winning a lottery you can be rich. It doesn't work that way. You have to go through the process. If you want to master something, you have to be willing to go through all the challenges. So I want to warn you, no matter we are surrounded with everything at our disposal, we live in the 21st century, you know what? It's not going to be easy. It's not going to be easy. So you need to avoid shortcuts. You need to remove shortcuts in your vocabulary. Remove that because you have to decide. You have to decide each day that I want to move forward or I want to move backwards. I'm going to share with you some really serious stuff that can really help you out. For instance, if you decided from now onwards that you are going to be reading 4 books a month, just 4, it means 1 book a week. Guess what can happen? In 5 years' time, in 10 years' time, you'll be a different person. But in order for that to happen, you have to go through pain. You have to sacrifice, whether you're going to sacrifice football or partying, whatever, you have to sacrifice. So you need to have a reason You should have a reason. Without reason, there is no way you're gonna keep reading the books. No way you're gonna keep doing what you are doing, because you know what? You will be powerless. So you need to find a reason why you should do that. And I can assure you, if all the rich people, Baresa didn't go to school, but he has been out of the country many, many times. He has an exposure. You see, you need to be exposed. So by reading books, it's like you're talking to somebody who has been there. He'll be able to guide you. So I'm asking you, spend your time, spend 5 years reading 4 books a month, and guess what? You will be a different person. You will be a different person. But as I said, it won't be easy. It won't be easy. People will laugh at you. Somebody may even divorce you because of that. You know, even your parents may kick you out. They may give all names. But if you can just focus and focus and focus, I can assure you, if you are investing your time that way, somewhere God will pay you back. But are we willing to go through all those pain? Are we willing to stay awake all night long? Think about that. If this guy called Bill Gates, he reads 50 books a year. Think about that. And I can assure you, just by reading 4 books a month, within 5 years, you know which level will you be in the world? You know what? You won't even believe it. Think of how many years have you wasted in school? So what's going to happen when you start this habit of reading 4 books a month? By the end of the year, you feel like oh, you know what? I'm totally exhausted. You know, you lose a lot of friends along the way. You know, you may say, maybe I'm struggling. I don't see anything. You know what? Nothing just happened overnight. Because what is happening, you are growing inside. Outside, yes, they won't see anything. You may not even see it yourself outside, but inside you are growing. So in year 1, you won't be earning much, if it's in terms of money, whatever, but still, if you keep pushing, year 2 also, it will be the same thing. Year 2, it will be the same thing. At least now, you know the ABC or the benefits of reading books. You will start changing. Your language will start change. You will start attracting good people. You will start networking. You in that kind of time, it means you have created a literal network. You know what you are doing. If you keep pushing, I can assure you, in year 3, you will start seeing something. Something will come up in year 3 for sure. If it is money, it won't be much, because at that time, people will start hiring you. You know what? If you want to be a motivational speaker, it means people will start paying you money for just talking. Think about that. You are being paid money for talking. And think of how much can you make per hour just by talking. So in year 3, you will start earning money. It won't be much, but at least. And year 4, I can assure you, my friend, you can say, I don't want to live in Africa anymore. I want to go to America. I want to go to Europe. You decide yourself. You become more valuable and valuable and valuable. If it's a car, it's a fancy house, you want to build a bungalow, whatever you name it, you may be having your stuff. And year 5, I'm sure Bill Gates can even invite you and have dinner with you. And they will be asking you, how did you manage of all the challenges in Africa? How did you manage to do this? How did you manage to be the kind of person you are? You know what? You won't be the first. There are some people have done it. So I'm just sharing with you this 5-year plan. You can take it, or you can put it aside as it has been the case for your life. So what I want you to understand, from year 1 to year 4, things may not go on your way, but it will depend with the reason you are doing this. If the why is very strong enough, you keep pushing, no matter what. But I can assure you, by year 3, I'm just giving a summary of what's going to happen. By year 3, if you are reading, maybe you are spending 80% of your time per day just by reading. You know what? In year 3, you will be having like 7,000 hours in what you are doing. 7,000 hours. I can assure you, once you reach 10,000 hours in whatever career or field you decide to be in, you become the master. People may say, you know, he's a professor, he has a PhD, whatever. You know what? And you don't need to go to school to get all this stuff. You become your own individual, very unique, very valuable. So I can assure you, in doing so, you will be among the top in the world. If you can just mark my words and keep reading 4 books a month, in year 3 to year 4, I can assure you, you will be among the top in the world, in whatever field you decide to do. No, you know, 5 years is not far away. This is 2018. It means 2023, you'll be among the millionaire in the world. It's not going to be easy. I can assure you, it's not going to be easy. But once you are there, it will be worth that. It was really good thing for me to go through whatever I went through. So, and then, being said that, I want you to give this analog, to understand this analog. Assume you have a brand new car, as you can see, very shiny, you see? But what happens? You know, you have leather seats, you blast music and all kinds of things. Unfortunately, this car does what? It has a flat tires. Everything is perfect inside, but it has what? It has a flat tire. You know what? It doesn't matter how polished the car is, but if the tires are not filled up with air, then guess what? There is no way it can move. So whether it has the best carburetor or the plugs are very good, maybe the steering wheel is very okay, but it won't help because you have what? You have flat tires. It won't take you where you want to go. So it means what you need to do, even if you decided to wax the road where you want to pass with your car, it won't help. It won't move. Whether the road has a tarmac or it's a rough road, it won't move because the tires are what? Are flat. But if you want to move and become an outstanding person along the way, you better find people who can add something in you. There is no way you can make it alone. You need people. Okay? So that will depend on what is in your head. So mind you, I want to ask you some questions from the analog I've just shared with you. Which part of you is driving the car? I want you to rephrase this question and say, which part of me is driving the car? I want you to write the answer for that. Which part of me is driving the car? The second question, I want you to ask yourself, am I driving with my personality or with purpose? Are you conducting your life with personality or with purpose? You know, I have MBA, I have a PhD, I'm a professor. That is your personality. I can speak good English, I can speak Japanese, I can speak whatever. Or you are being driven with your purpose. The third question I want you also to answer and ask yourself is, am I driving with my heart or am I driving with my head? What is driving you? Is it your heart or is it your head? Think about that. I'm sure you have the answer yourself. But for me, it was a very tough questions, and I kept asking those questions myself. And it made me to go through a lot of challenges in my life, but thank God that I found myself. And before I continue, what I want you to understand is not going to be easy. You are going to face challenges, and most of the time, those challenges will come without even you knowing. There is no signal that will come out. I want you to listen to this video clip. It's a story that happens in 1914. None of us were born, but there is something that you can learn out of it. enjoy the video, and then I'll get back to you after the video has played. It's just a 2-minute video, so it won't take much of your time, but I want you to pay attention.
10th, 1914. There was a massive explosion in West Orange, New Jersey, United States of America. 10 buildings in a factory owned by the legendary inventor Thomas Edison were engulfed by flames. 6 to 8 fire departments rushed to the scene but could not curb the chemical-fueled inferno. After having tried all that he could, as Thomas Edison calmly stood there, watching the fire destroy his entire life's hard work, his 24-year-old son Charles came over and stood next to him. In a childlike voice, Edison said to his son, "Charlie, go and get your mother and her friends. They'll never be able to see a spectacular fire like this in their entire life." Astonished and shocked by his father's response, Charles asked Thomas Edison, "Our entire factory is being burnt down to ashes, Dad." Thomas Edison replied in complete composure, "Yes, our factory is being burnt down to ashes. But all the mistakes we have made so far in the factory have also been burnt down to ashes. We will start all over again tomorrow." That evening, Thomas Edison told a New York Times reporter, "Although I'm 67 years old and I'm completely exhausted from running around and trying to control the fire, tomorrow I'll start all over again, afresh." And so he did. The next day was a fresh beginning for Thomas Edison and his son Charles in trying to rebuild what had been destroyed by the fire. Often, this is what life does unto us. Our dreams are shattered, our hopes broken, efforts baffled. Great people, they don't cry. They try to rebuild their dreams. Great people don't give up, live up to the challenges that life throws at them. Great people don't go through, they grow through the difficulties that come on their path. They start all over again with great hope, with great determination, with great grit. And that is why they reach the highest peaks of success that most people only aspire for. That is why I say, no challenges, no success. No challenges, no success. Thank you very much.
Yep, no challenges, no success. You need to remember this. No challenges, no success. So as I said, it doesn't matter what has happened to you. Maybe you lost your parents, you're on your own. Maybe you have been retrenched from your work and you're just struggling. You can't even know what to do. But remember, there is always tomorrow. There is always a second chance. The issue is, are you willing to start over again? You know what? If you don't do, within no time, you'll be gone. The animal you can see on the screen, that's the dinosaur. You know, they didn't want to change. And then all of them, we can't even trace them in the world. So we are human beings, we have to change as the world changes. So what does it mean? It means that we can find ways on how to become our own boss. You know what? There is no future when it comes to employment. The world has changed. We are not living in the 19th century. This is the 21st century, and things are changing very, very, very fast. So that makes me now to introduce my colleague and my mentor and coach, Robert Kiyosaki. Some of you have heard about him, but I want to build up my story from his talk. As I said throughout this talk, that the world has changed and we better change with it. But unfortunately, to the majority of people, they don't even know exactly what is happening. As I speak to you now, we have people in this webinar, they are still going to school looking for certificates. They have all the certificates, but they haven't even used them, but they want more and more. So let Kiyosaki maybe give you something out of it, and then from there, I'll be able to chip in. Enjoy the video from Robert Kiyosaki.
I don't mean to be an alarmist, but I am concerned for you and your family's future. You don't want to be like my poor dad, a man who has a PhD from Stanford, Northwestern University, Chicago, but died poor when he lost his job. That's crazy. To just count on job security when robots are coming, it's crazy. To understand, ladies and gentlemen, that's why Rich Dad's education is so important. So let me give you two simple diagrams from the Rich Dad inventory. This is what makes Rich Dad's education different. This here's a financial statement. This is what your banker asks you for when you graduate from school. Look, I have a Bachelor of Science degree from a very, very good school, one of the best schools in the world to train people like me to be ship's officers to sail all over the world. Richest graduates in the world, called the United States Merchant Marine Academy at Kings Point, New York. And I was a C student. I didn't have good grades. But I'll tell you something. Even though I have a Bachelor of Science degree, my banker has asked me for this. My banker has never asked me for my grade point average. My banker never asked me for what school I went to. My banker wants to see my financial statement, because this is my report card when I grow up. It's time maybe you should grow up and invest in your education here. Because what this stands for is income, expense, assets, liabilities. This is the basic of a financial statement. My banker wants to see this. What the banker wants to see are assets. They don't care what your grade point average was. They don't care how much money you make. They want to see assets. They'll give you as much money as you want if you have assets. So what makes Rich Dad's education different is we teach you to focus here, whereas going to school teaches you to focus here. Look, there's a very big difference in this word here. Go to school and get a job, or learn how to acquire assets. That's Rich Dad's education. It's not easy. Most people can't do it. Most people would rather be told what to do, which is, oh, save some money, invest in the stock market for the long term, and get out of debt, and all that stuff. Unfortunately, that's not good advice, in my opinion. I could be wrong. I'd rather have real assets in here. Things like businesses. I have 6,000 rental units, 3 hotels, oil wells. I own other businesses. That's real assets, not stocks, bonds, mutual funds, and ETFs. That's for amateurs, okay? And what else makes Rich Dad different, Rich Dad education different, is this diagram here. This is book number 2 in the Rich Dad series. This is E, S, B, and I. E stands for employee. Go to school and get a job. Yes, 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 I'll do that. Job security. Well, robots are coming. Where's the job security? You know that jobs are moving overseas? Have you heard that? And the jobs that do move back to the States, they're hiring robots, not hiring humans. Check the stats, man. And look over here, S. That stands for smart guys, the A students. That wasn't me. They become doctors, lawyers, accountants, attorneys. Hey, they make a lot of money here, but they don't have much money here. And these are the A students, or small business. I own a taco shop or a coffee shop. And that's where school goes. If you're happy here, stay here. You don't need rich dad's education. You want to move to the B and the I side, which is big business, 500 employees or more, or professional investor, like a Warren Buffett. This would be Steve Jobs, Warren Buffett. You want to move from here to here, that's where rich dad's education comes in. You want to stay here, go to school. Very, very big difference. This here was my poor dad. Go to school and get a job and work there for the rest of your life. Get your PhD, get your master's, get your MBA, and climb the corporate ladder or work for the government. That was my poor dad. This was my mom. She was a registered nurse. She wanted me to be a doctor. And I said, Mom, doctors are smart. She goes, oh, good point here. Stay here, you know, because I was never going to make it as a doctor or a lawyer. I'm not that bright. Whereas my rich dad said, come here. Become a professional investor. And today, these guys, you can see them on TV shows, they're called Shark Tank. They're Mark Cuban and those guys, and Mr. Wonderful. Those are professional investors. These guys here, stocks, bonds, mutual funds, and ETFs, and saving money. You know, pack of losers, but anyway, that's what they do. Rich dad's education is for this side here. But you have to become a pro. You have to turn pro. You have to be smarter than these guys here.
Session to help you understand exactly how you can take your life. It's not going to be easy, yes, but if it was easier, everybody could be successful. So as I said from the beginning, I want you, if you do what is easier, your life will be hard. And if you do what is hard, your life will be easier. So the only thing you need to do is just to open up your mind. You need to open up and learn some new stuff. You know what? Your brain or your mind has no limitation except the limitation you put it to yourself. So you better open up and learn new things. And there's a huge difference between working hard and working smart. So there is a huge difference. You need to understand. You need to understand, for some of us who have been going on the street, who have been going back to school, try to get some certificate, hoping maybe once you have the certificate, our life will change. As long as you are going within the cycle, that's what they call the insanity. You are doing something over and over again, expecting a different result. You've been to the university, you came out with your first degree, your life didn't change, and then you went back again for the second degree, you came back and then having your master's degree, still life was not. Now you're going for PhD, whatever. So you need to understand what is going on in your life. You know, this is what working hard means. But you can still find a way. You know what? As I said from the beginning in life, it goes on stages. You can't cut this tree once. You have to go through the process one at a time, one at a time, and then later on, I don't know how many, but somewhere the tree will go down. So I want you to understand this. I want you to understand that for those people who will change fast and in learning new things, they will really benefit, because you know what? Life is just going like this, very, very fast, very fast. And unfortunately, to the majority of the people who have no idea what is happening. So you need to remember, sometimes you may think maybe God is not on your side, but actually what he's doing is not trying to bury you, but he's trying to plant you because you're a seed. You know what? If you can plant an apple seed on a table, nothing gonna come out. If you can plant an apple seed under your bed, nothing gonna come out. But if you can plant the apple seed in the soil, something definitely will come out. So I want you to understand that we better change it, the sooner the better, because the world is going very, very fast, and nothing is in our favor. Almost everything works against us. All know that they're hiring robots. That's what Kiyosaki was saying about. But what can we do now if they're hiring robots? If you go in other countries, you know, in the restaurants, in a hotel, you will find robots. They are there. In car manufacturing, robots. You go to the hospital, robots. What can we do now? What can we do? But I want to warn you. You know what? You are favored. This is the 21st century. You can be whatever you want. But the issue is, it doesn't matter how many degrees you have. If you don't want to read, if you don't want to learn that some new stuff, you know what? You are going to be illiterate. This is what they call the insanity or the mbumbumbu. You are going to be illiterate no matter what, because the world is changing very, very fast. Unfortunately, to the majority, they are still looking for the government to help them. They're still waiting for the government to hire them. Even if you find a job, they won't pay you enough to meet your living expense. You will just survive. But I can assure you, you have something you are dreaming of. Of course, dream is free, but the journey is not free. So whoever is in this webinar and you decided to go after your dream, I can assure you it's not going to be a straight road. You know, that's what they taught you when you went to school the first time. You know, once you have a degree, you find a good job, you do this and that. Oh, that's a lie. Those days, yes, not now. Not now. You need to understand this. It's not going to be easy because the dream is not for free. You have to go through the challenges. But the issue is, you need to work on your ego. And the ego is the enemy. You know what? I have a degree, I can do this, I can do that. It doesn't work. Remember, there is more degree in a thermometer than the degree you have yourself. So be willing to let your ego go so that you can move forward. I'm telling you, this is the 21st century. You have no option. Either you change or you'll be forced to change and you'll be out of business and your life gonna be very hard. So you just have an open mind and you know what? Learn. There are some people out there who are willing to help you. But are you teachable? Are you coachable? What I'm asking you is to have a growth consciousness. I'm not asking you to have a goal consciousness. You know, once you buy a car, yes, you're gonna live in a very good house, yes, but you know what? You need to focus on the journey, not on the destination. You know what? Once you focus on your journey, it's gonna mature you. You know, even if you lose it, you will still be able to start over again and make it. Because nothing is permanent. Nothing is permanent. So focus on the journey. Keep challenging yourself, okay? You better change, the sooner the better. And along the way, you will find people to help you up. So I'm talking about having a growth mindset, not a fixed mindset. Once you have a fixed mindset, you focus on your destination. And the issue is you need to focus on the journey. Am I doing enough? Am I changing fast enough to benefit what's happening in the world? I showed you the dinosaur. They are no longer in this world. Think of, we used to have radio cassettes. We have those tape recorders. Where are they now? We used to have Nokia. Where is Nokia? We used to have Kodak. Where is Kodak? Think about that. So things are changing very fast. They are not. Yeah, so what I'm saying here, you better be careful with what you are asking God to help you. So what I'm saying here, there is some ways or there is some means we can take, there's a route we can take. Thereafter, later on, we'll be able to have what we call financial freedom. There's something which I want to share with you now, and I'll be done in a very short period of time. And I want you to understand this. A wealthy person is simply someone who has learned on how to make money when they are not working. You better find ways how you can make money without hustling yourself. Your time is very limited. The time will come when you won't be able to do what you're doing now, and it's better to look for other people to help you out. So you can start afresh. The issue is, no matter how old you are, you know what? President Trump, he became president when he was 70 years old. And Obama, he became president, how old Obama was. So there is enough for everybody. There's enough for everybody. I don't know if you have heard of what is called residual income. Instead of earning money from your sweat, you can find a way on how you can leverage yourself and start earning money using other people's time and effort. This is what I want to share with you right now. And from what Kusaki was sharing with us, I'm sure you can get something out of it. So there is a huge difference between earning a regular income and earning what I call a residual income. You know what? If you are working on your residual income, it means the income grows exponentially. And sometimes once the momentum kicks in, you don't have any control with it. So the money keeps coming in, whether you are asleep or you are die, whatever. It just keep coming in. So it's the way where you can create wealth in a very systematic way. And in doing so, also you tap other people as well. So you're using other people's time and effort. So you need to understand this. Your income will keep coming in whether you are alive or dead. Think of, I'm going to give you an example of Jesus Christ. He died many years ago, but he got only 12 disciples. And out of 12, how many Christians do we have? And how many churches? Well, every day, they're opening up new churches, new people are joining up. So I want you to understand, and in order for you to understand what I'm talking about, just imagine what you see on the screen is you with all the people you are having. Maybe you have people on social media, and you can see one of the guy on the screen who you brought in your business or in your network. He has people around him, and assume you are earning 13% of it. I'm assuming that this person, where you are earning 13%, him with his team, maybe they did sales worth $10,000. And if you are earning only 13% of it, how much is that? That will be 1,300. And then you have another person in your network where you are earning 80% of it. So 8% of $10,000, that is $800. Add up in your pocket, and then you have another person where you are earning 5%. If they consume the product worth $10,000, 5% of $10,000, that's 500. And also you have another guy where you are earning 10% of it, and if they consume the product worth $10,000, 10% of it, that should be 1,000. If I can just add up 1, 2, 3, 4, you will end up earning how much? You end up earning in Tanzanian money. I've converted it to what? To, if the exchange rate is 2,200 shillings. How much is that? So you find yourself earning over 7 million just by having a network of 4 people. And these people, they are consuming something. I just give an example of the people you're having on your social media. So think of, I'm trying to expand further. Jesus got 12 disciples. And assume you get only 4 people. Out of the 4 people, you see what happens? Because they are going to create their own network. It's like if I'm connected with you on social media, I have my own network. You have your own network. And how many people do you have? So I just want you to understand. So you have 4. It means this 4, that is your first line. I will call it, for this case of training, I'll call them, this is your first generation. This 4, okay? And assume they are doing maybe 20,000 US dollar, okay? So these guys who are in your first generation will earn 6% of it. And those guys who are in your second generation, you earn 3% of it. And those guys who are in your third generation, you earn 2% of it. So 6% of 20,000, that gives us 1,200. And 3% of the 20,000 US dollars on your second generation, that will give us $600. And third, 2% on your third generation of $20,000, that will give us 400. So this is just from one line. And I'm saying you have 4. Okay, so now just from one line, you have $2,200 times 4. How much is that? Think about that. So this is what I've given you just underneath. What you see is $2,200 per one line. You have 4. And how many people do you have? Think about that. If a dead person can bring all the people during the burial ceremony, who are you on earth to just say, you know, I don't know people, I can't connect with people? The issue is, are you teachable? When the student is ready, the teacher will show up. So with this kind of model, and Kiyosaki has spoken about it, almost some other people also have spoken about it. So the issue you need to understand, you won't make money unless you are helping others. And as I said from the beginning, you have to invest in time, and no time will be wasted because you are investing time in the right way. Because you have been wasting time watching TV, watching and football, partying, and sort of. But even Jesus, he got 12 disciples, but out of the 12 there was Judah. So not all the people they are going to do the way you want it. Some people will drop, some people will die. It's the same thing in the usual in our lives. The issue is, I want you to have the concept. You don't need everybody. You just need few people who really understand what they want. People who are hungry, they want more in their life. Remember, you have to look for leaders. Jesus went out and got leaders. You know what? Leaders are like eagles. They don't flock together. So you have to find one at a time. And that's where the challenging thing is. So you need to understand. You need to understand that there is a huge difference between people who are hungry and people who are pretending, people who are faking. You have to find people who are really hungry and they want something for their lives. That's the kind of people you need to look for. And in doing so, you find yourself with a network of people who are open-minded, who are talking the same language as yours, who want to help others. And guess what? Guess what? Within no time, you will see the results. I can assure you, if the soil is okay, the seed is okay, and you water it, you will see the results. And this is what we call residual income. You will be making money year after year, month after year, day after day, and then guess what? You can leave a legacy, and I can assure you, even if you die, people will just cry because you died, but not because you left them in poverty. And even God will be smiling that it was the right time for him to ask you to go. So I want you to understand that we have to find ways on how we can make money while we are not there. So you can fall asleep, like in Dar es Salaam, it has been raining all night long, all day long. And tomorrow is Monday. There's some people that won't even be able to go to work because all the roads are full of floods, sort of. But if you are in this kind of business, it's very easy for you to earn what you want. So the issue now, you don't need to wait. Nothing comes to those who wait, okay? And if something comes to those who wait, it's a leftover for those people who hustle. So you don't need to wait. There is no that this is the right whatever. No. You need to, you know what? You don't need to wait for anything. And this is give you what I can say is a lifestyle of its own. And it's not only that, all the people around will thank you several times that because of you, their life have changed. So whether you're a mom at home, whether you are a widow, whoever is at home and you're having some other stuff, you can still do it part-time. And the issue is, are you willing to be coached? Are you willing to be mentored? And all the benefit, you name it. So you'll be working from home. You don't need to have office. You don't need to have employees. You know what? The startup cost is almost nothing. You can start out of nothing. You don't need to have money. What you need to invest in is time to learn. You can earn money out of nothing using other people's money and using other people's time. So you become your own boss. So you spend more time with your family. You spend most of the time with the loved one. And what else? You need to have discipline. Nothing just happens on its own. You have to put in time. Yes, it's going to be hard at the beginning because you'll be on the transformation period. You know what? Think of it. You've been looking for a job for a long time. Maybe you're employed. So when you're employed, you know what? The salary is just coming in, whether you like it or not. But that's just one transaction a month. There is no way you can achieve financial freedom by having 12 transactions a year. So the issue now, unfortunately, some of you guys who are in this webinar, you don't even understand what marketing or network marketing is. But you know what? You don't hate something you don't understand. It's better for you to understand what does it mean. Unfortunately, the majority of us, we don't read. We get our material either from lecturers or from TVs and from gossiping. And you know what? If you don't understand what digital marketing is, you better just shut up. Always, I want you to remember this, always an empty wagon makes a lot of noise. So when people, they are empty in their head, they make a lot of noise. You know, they say pyramid scheme. The pyramids are found in Egypt. Think about that. Think of our government structure. We have the president of the top. That's a pyramid. You see? But because they don't understand, that's why they rush on, this is that, this is that. So you need to understand exactly what you are doing. And some of you probably are already doing network marketing, but did you do your analysis? Or you just went in because somebody said this is a good thing to be in? So there is a huge difference between a successful people and really successful people are those who they say no almost to everything. I can testify on this. I can testify on this. It's not easy to find the right people, but as you keep pushing yourself somewhere, the right one will appear. But the issue is, you are gonna go through stages. It's difficult the first year, difficult second year, but with the right mentor, with the right coach, definitely you will see a lot of stuff happening in your life. But you need to remember, whatever stage you are in, it demands a different you. So you better change. You better change in order for you to have the kind of life you've been dreaming of. Action is needed. And it's the bridge between your dream and where you are now. And being said that, you were born alone and you die alone. So be willing to walk alone, no matter who is against you, no matter who supports you. Be willing to walk alone. And what you start, you have to finish it. What you start, you have to finish it. Once you decide that, it's just a matter of time. And in doing so, if you love people and deep down you are happy with what you are doing, whether there is money or not, don't do it because there is money. Do it because of the person you become along the way. And in doing so, it will be just a matter of time. It will be just a matter of time. So I want to challenge you. I want to challenge you to think wisely on how you use your time, because time is not on our side. Time is not our side, but the issue is you better use it properly, because your days are numbered. I said from the beginning, your days are numbered. And before I finish my talk, I want to remind you with this very strong statement from the late Steve Jobs. You know what? He was born out of wedlock, okay? And he died, he didn't even know his father. And his biological father didn't even want to see him. He wanted to see him later on, after he realized that Steve Jobs was a billionaire, he was a famous person on earth, okay? But despite of his wedlock beginning, what he did, of course, he was adopted, he dropped out of college, but guess what? He changed the world. As I'm speaking to you now, I'm using his gadget, I'm using his MacBook, I'm using his iPhone. So what kind of excuse do you have? And some of you, you know, you were born with parents who went to the mosque for their wedding, or they went to church. Maybe you are the firstborn or the lastborn, whatever. But how are you with life? How many people have you touched? So you guys, we have the same hour as everybody else. But the issue is, how do we use our time? How do you use our time? So it's up to you. It's up to you. It's up to you. It's almost it's 11 now or something. So I want just to remind you, your dream is not for sale. Your dream is not for sale, but you better try to do your best. And as I said, once you decide to decide, some good people will emerge along the way. And God won't bring them on your way unless you do your best. So the ball is in your hands. The ball is in your hands. So it depends on what you're going to do. So for some of you who want to understand more how you can be a good person on this earth, how you can utilize whatever potential you have, you better read books. These are just some of the books I can recommend to you guys that it's worth reading them. It's worth, if you haven't got them, please find them. If you can't find them in shops, through the person who invited you in this webinar, he can help you to find them. So this is our second batch of The Richest Man in Babylon, plus this one, The Business School for people who want to help others. So these books are available, and if you can't find them, just drop me a line. I will find a way how you can get them. These books will help you to be the kind of person you want. Remember, sometimes your salary is a bribe, and they give you that bribe so that you can forget your dreams. So now I want to bring in somebody. I don't know whether, who is this? I'm looking for Ferdinand. Ferdinand, are you there? I want you to share with us. Because you are employed, you were born in France, and then you decided to come back to Africa, and you are being paid, like what, $6,000 a month, and then you decide to let it go simply because you had your own dream, and you are here in Africa now, in Tanzania, trying to pursue your dream. So I want you to share with us how life was in France, and also how life was when you were being employed, where they are paying you $3,000 or $6,000, and you decided to become your own boss. Ferdinand, are you there? Can you share with us something? Ferdinand. I'm looking.
My mic.
Yes. Yes, go ahead.
Do you hear me?
Yes.
So, but in order to understand why I abandoned my university certificate and why I have decided myself to throw away and obliterated those university studies, professors and lecturers cemented in my mind, you need to give me at least a few minutes if you want to hear and understand the truth, because it's a bit long, brief story. If you are willing to grant me a few minutes.
Go ahead. Yeah, we are listening.
Okay, let me thank you for inviting me to this ultimate session to share my thoughts with you. And I must state in advance that I don't talk about myself at all. It is very difficult to ask one to talk about oneself. But I will share my thoughts with you as a Tanzanian and as an African, regardless of my parental background. I want to preface my conversation with you out of what you asked, but remember, in life you have two kinds of journeys. There is a false and there is a factual. But many people think that we have one journey. But truly in my life, I had two journeys. The first one was false and the second one was factual. I took the first one because it was the only that my mind was trained to follow. But along the way, I had been supposed to change the way and embrace the second one, which was factual, in order to opt myself the kind of person I want to become in the future. But you don't believe, it was not easy. Regardless to those university certificates that I gained around from to the diploma, I have a diploma of IT, information technology. For my first degree is a degree of human resource management. Second one is a degree of financial management, and I had a master's of financial management. But don't believe, when I was in diploma level, my father and the stepmother told me that, Ferdinand, you are, hello?
Yes, go ahead.
Yeah, I said that when I was in diploma level, my father and the stepmother told me that, Ferdinand, you are our only son, firstborn, and the lastborn of the family. Our eyes are upon you. That was my father. I reached my master's level in the colonial system. I was a great man at a time, and that is why I got such kind of position in this country. You, Ferdinand, listen my voice. You have to study till you reach PhD level and ensure that you become a doctorate in that profession. I want you to become a successful person than I am. From now, you are allowed to choose where you want to study in this world. That was the sense of my father. And my father himself, he chosen what I have to study. I said, for your university studies, I suggest you to take human resource management, and I will show you how to study 2 similar degrees of management at a time, in short of period of time. But you don't believe, regardless to study to the best university in the world, and the wealth of my father, I was selling eggs and across to the students during my university academic period because of my heart and my mind was only interested in doing business. Years later, I remember years later after the university, I got a job of a shameful salary that cannot even help me to survive independently and to end the month without debts. I remember before 1 year of my father's death, my father awakened me at, it was 3 a.m. with a amamite full of water, and they told me, Ferdinand, I want to dialogue with you before the morning rise up. We sat in the garden, and they told me, Ferdinand, lift up your head. And they told me what you see in the clouds. After that, my father stated that all stars you have seen are far from us, but when you look the stars in the marmite full of water, it seems that you can pick whatever you want. But, Ferdinand, pardon me for all mistakes I did. I was supposed to guide you how to prepare yourself for anything and let yourself to create your own future. At the end of the discussion I did with my father, he gave me 2 small books. One of John Mason called it The Impossible is Possible. And then the second one was How to Find the Right People in Your Life. And they told me, life has 3 kinds of people: the right ones, the best ones, and the toxic ones. He ended our night dialogue with these 7 watchful that I will never forget. Please, I beg you a few minutes to copy those sentences that my father told me. The first one was, these 2 books are my legacy for you. These cars and houses are not yours, are mine and my wife. We will help you once you will face critical situation. You have to look for yours and face the reality. The second one was, there is no future in the past. Your past are those university certificates. If you want to keep on your university studies, you have to keep in mind that there is no future there. You are looking for a respect that will last in short of period of time. And the second one was, winning starts with beginning. The fourth one was, miracles begins in the heart. The fifth one was, always seek to do what others say can't be done. All things that are impossible for them will be possible for you regardless your age. And the sixth one was, I failed to achieve my dreams, but make sure you, Ferdinand, there's not anything that will prevent you to achieve yours. You will never achieve your dreams by relying on monthly salary. That is what my father told me. But when I draw back my mind, 3 months later, after reading those 2 books and meditating on what my father told me, that is that is when I decided to stop that employment I had and seek the way to create my own future. That was the beginning of struggling to seek out the Lord for my dreams and come back to my mother country, because of Africa is full of so many resources and the kind of people I have been told. Yes, of course, it was not easy, my friend, because of I faced the reality and about what my father told me. I have got a temporary respect, but I have never used oral studies, experience, and the knowledge I learned in the university in order to generate even $1 a month. And I discovered that university certificates are a measure of what the professors and the lecturers have put in my mind, but not a measure of skills that will help me to create my own future and live the kind of life I want and achieve what I want. But truly, I had to learn skills and the fundamental of success out of the university. That is why I decided myself to throw away all my university certificates and obliterated all the professors and the lecturers put in my mind. And then after that, I accepted to embrace the reality. Yeah, that is the brief.
Okay, thank you very much, Ferdinandi. That was his testimony. He was trying to share with us what he went through to the point where he is now. So I want now to come back to you, you guys. I'm sure you got something from him, and also you are following up properly what I was trying to share with you. Now it's time for you guys to chip in. So I don't know where should I start. Unfortunately, I should start with guests. I don't know. So all these names here, I don't know who is the guest, who is the whatever. So maybe the best thing, I'll just go randomly. Maybe Amos Maziku, do you have something to share? Amos Maziku, do you have something to share from the webinar?
Hello.
Yes, go ahead.
Yes, thank you very much, Ms. Alphonse Chilato, for the brilliant presentation, which has got a lot to learn from the presentation. I would like to just share a little bit about, in fact, what you shared about the importance of knowing how to think instead of teaching our children what to think, because everything starts from thinking. If we can decide to really live our lives, to become entrepreneurial, to go to follow our passions, then success is automatic. You say there about Steve Jobs, whom we are using his gadgets this night. He was born out of wedlock. Also, he was adopted. He dropped out of college, but he believed in himself so much, and then he went to win. So the matter here is to really to believe in our thoughts, to believe in ourselves, to put into action, as you put it so succinctly in the presentation, that we need to believe in growth. We need to believe in the process. We need to fall in love with the process, and everything will fall in line as we keep working harder. And also learning very fast and rapidly, because the world is really changing so fast. We have to take advantage of what we have got and to keep learning. As you recommended, 4 books a month will ensure growth, tremendous growth, and changes to many of us. So I really commend for what you are doing, for taking your time to share with us all this. I'm so impressed with the area of network marketing, of which you shared. I'm doing also this network marketing industry. I appreciate so much, and I joined it soon after completing my Bachelor of Pharmacy at Muhimbili University, and I really enjoy it. I keep learning, I keep meeting new people every day, and I enjoy the fact that the residual income is the one which promises the stable future from the industry of network marketing, because it encourages the use of the team, the use of leverage, the use of other people's time, other people's money, as it was clearly stated into the presentation. So by saying so, I say thank you so much. Thank you very much for giving me this opportunity to share some few words.
Okay, thank you. That was Amos Maziku. Now I'm going to find a lady. I want to balance here. Zuhura Mustafa, do you have something to share, Zuhura?
Hello.
Yes, go ahead.
Okay, good evening, everyone. I hope you're having a good evening and you have learned a lot from this session. I just want to say thank you, Mr. Alphonse, for this chance. It's always a pleasure learning from you. I just want to add up some few tips on the people who are new to this meeting. So maybe they have heard about network marketing, team marketing, recommendation marketing, but there's one thing I'm so sure many people don't know about it. It's actually the leading industry in the world, and anyone can take advantage of this fact. And the good thing that I love about team marketing or network marketing is that it's a ready-made system for anyone who's serious to be able to take charge of the financial future. So anyone can do this. You just have to say yes and be ready to learn, because it all involves two things. You have to learn and to teach others. You will never be successful by your own in network marketing. So that's another thing. And if you're passionate about people, anyone can do it. I would like to paraphrase on the videos that you played today. They're actually very, very informative, and they have given me a lot. I always listen to Kiyosaki. I can say you're the copy of Kiyosaki sometimes, just the African copy. Because when you listen to Kiyosaki, you see where our education system failed us. So sometimes you find a lot of people wishing for the education system to change. As for me, I know it can take up to 50 years. Professionally, I'm a teacher, so I know how long it takes to change the system. It's going to take 50 years to change the education system, to be able to upgrade and update other stuff. So if you're waiting for the education system to change for you to be able to cope with the environment, you'll be left behind. So I urge everyone in this meeting not to hate what you don't understand. Just take time to learn about it. And the good thing about, I can actually say the great thing about network marketing is that anyone who's over 18 can do it. You don't have to graduate and start doing it. No, you just have to say yes and be coachable, and you can do this. Thank you, Mr. Alphonse.
Okay, thank you, Zuhura. Now I'm going to Alibina. Alibina, can you share with us? Alibina. Alibina, can you share with us? Alibina, you're on air now. Oh, okay, she's nowhere to be seen. Now I'm going to Alpha Nimbega. Alpha Nimbega, can you share with us something? Alpha Nimbega. Yeah, now let's go to Agnes Gabrieli. Can you share with us?
Okay.
Agnes,
Hello.
yes.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay. Thank you for this opportunity, and thank you so much for the presentation. It was amazing. Although my internet was cutting me off all the time, but I've managed to get some new things and learn a lot of things. Also, I would like to add on the part of it is very difficult to. It is difficult, but it's possible to unlearn all the things that we've learned so far. Okay, we've been put on a nutshell. We have all been put on a nest. So it's our responsibility to get out of it. And yes, it can be very scary because you are not sure how it's going to be out there. And we all fear uncertainty. And sometimes, yes, we do hate what we don't understand. But I want you to know that it is your own responsibility. No one will come to save you. You need to save yourself. You need to take control of your own life. As Tom Ford said, we are the masters of our own fate. So you need to control your life. You need to know what you're going to do tomorrow. You need to know what you're going to do next month. You need to know what you're going to do after 5 years. You need to know that. You need to visualize that. So what I will advise you to do right now, just open your mind and welcome new thoughts, welcome new ideas. Yes, as I said, it will be difficult, but as long as there are people out there who are ready to show you the way, who are ready to hold you up, who are ready to tap your back and say, congratulations, you are doing it, you are going to reach there. As Simon Sinek said, the courage to do anything does not come from within. It comes from outside. It comes from external. It is an external forces. As long as you know there's someone out there who got your back, then you have the courage to do something extra, something great, something beyond your imagination. So I would like to congratulate everyone who joined on this webinar, and I hope you're going to take action from the things you've learned today. Thank you for the opportunity to speak.
Okay, that was Agnes. And then I'm going to Kazahula. Kazahula, yes.
Hello, thank you so much, Leader Chilato. I'm so honored to speak in this meeting, and I'm so happy because I was able to invite two friends, Keflin and Majuma. I hope so they get time to say hi to us. So, but the thing I can insist on is all about the learning every day. So the material are there, the opportunity is there. We can use our phones. We can read the book. So that we should make sure every day we add something in our mind. So as if we add something in our mind every day, at the end of the day, after a year, after 2 years, we can find ourselves to be different from others, and our work will be simplified. Thank you so much, Leader Chilato.
Okay, that was Kazaula. Albina, can you see your microphone is on? Albina, can you share with us?
Yes, hello.
Yes, go ahead.
Yeah, thanks for your time. I've learned a lot of things today. I am very happy, but I can advise people one thing today. There's something you said here, it was very important. Like a lot of people have smartphone. We can use Instagram and Facebook doing business and gain something instead of wasting our time there, talking to people, looking what friends decided to put on Facebook. Myself, I use Facebook and Instagram making money. So everyone can do that. As you said before, we need to use our smartphone in a smart way. We don't need to waste our time just chatting and waste your time on Instagram, on WhatsApp. It will never change your life. It will never help you something to build up your future. And also we need to find people who are right to your life. The way you change your life, meeting other people who can help you to grow your brain. It will help also to change your income. It will help you to be a new person to the society or to your family, because we have a lot of people in the family, they have hard life, and when you look at them simply, it's because they don't put effort in anything. They just sleep, they just dream, but they never work for their dreams. So we need to work very hard. We need to take care of our dreams. We need to write down our goals, and we need to work hard for them, because if you don't if you don't write down your dreams, if you don't work hard for it, it will never happen. Don't dream and sleep. We have to dream and also work hard. And also the other thing I want to share with you guys, we need to take care of ourselves. Like me as Albina, I need to get something after 5 years. Mr. Chilato or Amos or anyone else will never change me. But me, myself, I have to work up. I have to do everything which it will help my future. And also, we need to take care of everything we do in this world, because today you think life is easy, but if you don't focus for 5 years to come, life will be very difficult. So we need to work very hard. We need to forget about people who are wasting time on social medias instead of working hard to put some maybe product for us who are doing network marketing business. So we need to really, really work hard and focus. It will change your life, and it will help people in your family, and also friends. You know, we have some friends, maybe they will learn something from you. So don't waste your time, because there's no time to waste it. Mr. Reginald Mengi, he is the way he is today because he was working hard before. That's why we see him today, and we take him as an example in this world. So I wish you all the best. What I can tell you today, we need to work hard and we need to focus. It will change our life, and we'll be a new person in the future. So wake up and work hard today to help you very well tomorrow. Okay, thank you for your time.
Okay.